What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 33 of Operation Premiership with Coventry City, and it's the first episode of our 6th season at the club now and our 5th in the Championship. We had our best finish since we got promoted in the Championship last season, so hopefully we can use that as a base to improve this year, and it's something I have done. The previous 4 years I've always had avoid relegation as my objective with the board. So I have actually done that, but I do think that that's actually held the club back, because I think that the players therefore don't expect to be at the top of the table, and also I do think it affects what players you can bring in. If your objectives are low, I do think that you won't get ambitious players and things, and players wanting to come in and do well for the club. So we'll get straight onto the transfers that we've done in the summer. First of all, the ones that we didn't do. Clementini wanted to go. I was going to let him go, but unfortunately only Charlton and Huddersfield came in with loan offers where they were hardly paying any of his wages. So I decided not to let him go. I could rather have him here with me than with rival clubs. And Alex McCarthy as well received a £2.1 million bid from Stoke. I said I wanted 3.5. They came back with 2.6. I said I still wanted 3.5, and they rejected that. So he's still with the club. I didn't want to sell him, that's why I put £3.5 million price tag on him, but I did think that £3.5 million would be enough for me to say bye. Cillian Smith was going to go to York, but they cancelled the deal, and I tried to get rid of Bebe as well, but only a loan offer came in, so I decided to keep him instead. So we get straight onto the deals that I have been doing this summer, and I haven't done as much deals in as I usually have. But as you can see, there's been a lot of players leaving the club. Not many on permanents, but we'll get on to the ones that we've done anyway. Arturo contract out, I let him go. He did alright for us at the start of last season, but he fell out the first team once Anichebe came in, and Pedersen as well, and then we had Sloan on the bench and Wubshet, and he just couldn't get in the team. Alban Meja was a decent servant for a couple of years, but he's left on a freeze, ended up at Crystal Palace. Darren McQueen, don't think he ever made a first team appearance for us. He's gone to Shrewsbury after being released. No, he never made a first team appearance. He made plenty of loan appearances for other clubs. David Jackson, again another player who came in with high hopes and never fulfilled them. I bought him in from Glenarvan, I think. Yep, bought him in from Glenarvan, Northern Ireland. Never made a senior appearance for us. He did alright Blue Square Bet Premier level, but just wasn't up to the Championship standard, anywhere near it. Scott Dan, someone I didn't want to let go. He was our captain last season, but unfortunately he just wanted too much money when he was here. He wanted 14.5 grand to stay. He's taken 9.5 to go to Burnley, but disappointed to lose him. Franco Scarlata has gone to Swindon on loan for the season. Got a recall clause in there, but also there is a clause in there for Swindon to buy him for I'm sure there was, maybe there wasn't, maybe I'm imagining it, but he's gone to Swindon for the season to get some Championship level football. Jesse Lingard's gone on loan to Barnsley. I had him around the first team last season, but he never really broke into it, but he's got some really good potential, so hopefully playing at the level Barnsley playing in League One, he can improve. Ivor Lawton's gone on loan to Eastleigh. He's just a young player who's supposed to have a bit of ability, but he's not really living up to that yet. He's 21. Maybe he can this year. Luis Herrera, signed him in January. He's got some good potential. He's gone on loan to Preston in League One, so we're getting some decent first team football. Ali Reza Usta has gone to Doncaster on loan. Again, he's another guy with really good potential, so hopefully he can improve while he's there. Ernest Ebwele's gone to Barnsley. He's starting to improve a little bit. He's only scored 1 in 4 games, but his finishing's gone up because it wasn't 50, it was 15 before. But he's a really good prospect, and if he can improve, he can get to the Premier League level, which they're saying he can do. Thomas Button, a guy who I held really highly in regard as a youngster, but he's 20 now, and he hasn't improved that much. He's got really good mental stats, but his technical and physical attributes just haven't improved that much. So I decided that this was it. He was going. He's had quite a few loan spells, especially in the Neaton. but he's never really done anything to prove to me that he can play at our level, so I let him go for 130 grand to Derry. I thought that was a pretty good fee to get for him. Sean Scannell's gone on loan to Charlton in our division for a year. He didn't really break into the side that much last season. He made 15 appearances, but 10 of those were off the bench. So I decided to let him go to Charlton, and they're paying me a bit of money for him, and his wages are getting covered mostly, so that's good as well. Next out was Gwyn Hughes. He's gone to Farnborough for 14 grand. Farnborough are one of my feeder clubs. He's a left back, but he didn't have the greatest of potential. He spent the season on loan at Farnborough last season, the season before last. Last season he was on at Bristol Rovers, but he never made an appearance for us, and we got him for free, so it is a bit of a profit. Next out was Brendan Monaghan. This guy's got a lot of potential. Really, really good midfielder. Come through the academy as well. Didn't bring him in. He's come all the way from the Coventry academy. He spent last season on loan at Blue Square Premier Dover. This season he's gone on loan to Burton, so hopefully they'll be playing him soon, getting him some match time. Sean White's gone on loan to New Saints. He's not got too much potential and probably won't be at the club for much longer. Ronnie Wubshet was on the sidelines, not playing much, so I decided to loan him out. Unfortunately, he's gone to Châteauroux. He suffered an injury for 4 to 5 months, but his wages are being covered in full by Châteauroux, so that's good for me. It means that I won't be having to pay anything for him while he's injured. Philip Sly has stepped up to go to Brentford this year on loan. He's held in high regard by the people here and me. I think he can go far if he can get some good first team football and improve. And he's getting some decent level football in League One with Brentford this season, breaking into their first team, so hopefully he can improve. He's made one appearance for us before, back in 2015-2016, and just hopefully he can improve his attributes and maybe change for a first team spot. Jordan Willis was going to be a backup to the first team, but then when Stevenage came with a loan deal, I decided to let him go and again get some first team football, this time in League Two. He does seem to be proving though that that's the sort of level he's at. Even though he's got the potential to be Championship, he's getting to that point where he's not going to improve too much now. He is 23, so maybe he won't be at the Championship level that they say he will. Arkadiusz Stanislavski has gone on loan to Chester. He spent the last few years at Nuneaton, and one of the philosophies I decided to go with this year was I was loaning far too many players out to Nuneaton and Farnborough in non-league, and they weren't improving that much, even though they were playing well, because of the level of ability they were playing against. So I decided to loan them out to other clubs this time, higher up, to get some first team football. So he's playing League Two. Hopefully that will improve him to get him up to the standard he should be. Corey Lloyd was another one. He's been at Farnborough and Blue Square Premier. This time he's gone on loan to Bradford, who are in League Two. Hopefully he can do a job there, maybe get his stats up a bit. Jonathan Page has gone on loan to Stevenage. He's not going to break into the first team now. He's on a bit of wages, so he was on loan at Stevenage last season for the second half, and just hopefully we can just manage to get rid of him in the end, because he's not made too many appearances, just 18 in 3 years at the club, so hopefully he can move on somewhere else. Connor Thomas, another player who's just not getting to the standard that he needs to be at to play Championship. He's 23 now. He's gone on loan to Southend, and I may have to look at getting rid of him if he doesn't improve too much this season. Dave Craven is a real good prospect, 17 years old. He's got some really good physical stats, good finishing for that age, and composure. They can improve though, and he's gone on loan to Torquay. As you can see, some of his stats are improving, and that's good to see. Torquay are in League Two, so hopefully he can do a job there for them. He's played 2 games, so he is getting some first team football. Alex Sloan, might be a bit surprised I've let him go on loan, but I do think he needed to go out on loan to get some first team football, regular first team football. He scored 2 in his only game for Bolton so far, and they're paying a lump of his wages as well. Well, sorry, only 20% I think it is, but he has got some really good potential, and as you can see, he only made 19 appearances for us last season. I think he'll be far better if he gets a season of first team football. I've got a recall clause in there, so if he is playing really well, I might choose to recall him. And Jim State has gone on loan to Nuneaton, sent him on loan to my feeder club. Really good midfielder with some good potential, but no one was coming in for him on loan, so I decided to send him out. So that's all the outs. A lot of players going out on loan to get some first team football, and hopefully they can come back better players and have a good squad to challenge for the first team. So we'll get on to the players that we brought in. Nicholas Frings to start with. It didn't look good actually with me bringing players in because of the wage budget, but I managed to increase it, and it meant that I could bring players in. Otherwise I was going to look to have a very bare squad. But this guy looks pretty good. He's got a 4-star report potential wise. At the moment he's a 1.5 star League One player, but I do think he's got the capability to get up there, and hopefully I'll be giving him a bit of first team football here and there. He's got some really good finishing and composure's fantastic. Maybe he could improve his pace a bit with him only being 5'11", but we'll see what happens. And so far since he's been at the club, he's been declining in some areas but has improved in others, and hopefully we can start turning them more green. So next in was Kevin Rogers. This was a guy I talked about getting in on a free, and I got him in on a free. Only £6.5 a week as well. 20-year-old striker or attacking midfielder. 4 goals in 4 games so far. Really good player. 14 finishing, 16 composure. Since he's come in, his stats just one going up a little bit, but hopefully we can really develop this guy. He's had 2 good years at Hartlepool, one in the Championship, so he's proved himself at this level, and he's proven himself this year as well. Bob Demirel was on loan last season. He's returned. My director of football did this deal just on loan. He's very cheap on the wages as well, and he's got some really good potential. He did well last season. He's doing well this season as well. Next in was Francois Lepere, central midfielder from France. Very good, only 19 years old. Some really good physical stats, and his passing isn't great, but he's more of a ball winning midfielder, and hopefully we can improve these passing and tackling stats and get him up there. But he's had 2 games for so far, and he's done alright both in the cup. Next in was Nedamanua. He was released by QPR, and I decided to snap him up. He's a really good experienced defender, very quick as well. He's only 6 foot, but he's more going to be the covering defender to go alongside Ignacy Miquel, so that way when the ball's over the top I've got a quick centre back who can try and keep with the strikers, and he's done an alright job so far, 3 appearances. Next in was Elise Girard. Now this guy is probably my best player that I've got in as a regen. 16 dribbling, 16 free kick taking, 18 long throws. He's got some fantastic stats everywhere. Could improve his mental stats, but he is 20. He's come from the Paris Saint-Germain youth academy, where he's made 1 appearance for the first team. The only problem is, before a ball was kicked this season, he damaged cruciate ligaments, and he's out for pretty much the year. He may just about make it back for the last few games, but I'm worried how that's going to decline his stats. Already his physical stats are taking a hit, which is going to happen, but hopefully we'll be able to get them back up once he starts training again. I'm not going to rush him back in. I may just leave him out for the season, or loan him out someone for a last couple of months of the season, see what happens. But that was a big loss to lose him, because he was my new left winger. So I decided to bring in Jerry Smith, who was my director of football's signing. He's a left winger, fantastic ability, really cheap on the wages, just like Demirel from Holland as well. And he's got some good pace, good acceleration, crossing, dribbling, just what you need for a winger. So he's doing alright. He's only made 1 appearance so far, but he's done well so far. Another guy from Holland that my director of football brought in was Abdelhak Saidi, a left back who's pretty much taken the place of Sabai. He's got some fantastic pace and acceleration to get up and down the wing. He's a good crosser, dribbler, so he's a really good fullback to have running on and crossing balls in. And last in was Elroy Ooms, also from Holland, from Feyenoord on loan on deadline day. He's just going to be a backup squad player, very quick player, decent crossing, but he's not going to be playing too much, just a bit of backup to the first team already. So that is the update on the transfers. I'll quickly show you the finances, and it's not looking too good. We are 850 grand in the red, but hopefully that can start to improve as we go on the season, if we have a good year anyway. So we'll see what happens there. And the fixtures now, we have played a few and it's gone alright so far. We played quite a few friendlies, try and bring in some revenue. We played Anderlecht in the first one, won 3-1. Pedersen and Anicha beat Brace, giving us the win there. We then drew 1-1 to Club Bruges, who again are a European side, which it was a good result. Ronnie Wubshet on the score sheet for us in that one. We then got an expected 2-0 win against Leyton Orient, Ignacy Miquel and Bob Demirel with the goals. We were then beaten at home by Fulham, who were promoted to the Premiership last season, so it's not a bad result. That's all I've got to say. USBCO, we played at home and won 4-0. Christie, Wooten, Pedersen and Testro with the goals in that game. Really good win. We then played PSV Eindhoven at home and lost 3-1. They are a top side in Europe, so it's not too bad. John Warngore getting the only goal of the game for us. We then played Rubin at home and drew 2-2, which I thought was a good result. Pedersen on the score sheet along with Miquel, getting us a draw against them. We then played Bayern Munich's reserve side and won 2-0. Francois Touré and Elise Girard before he got injured, scoring those goals. Leicester, we played away and drew 0-0. Not too bad. Leicester have still got some good players, but they are in League 2. Would have expected to win. And then we finished off the season with a thumping 4-0 win away at our feeder club Farnborough. Paul Oates, Alex Sloan, Newadomski and Anichebe with the goals. So in all, a really good pre-season. We've only lost 2 friendlies and they were against PSV Eindhoven and Fulham. So some really good results in there. The win over Anderlecht, good result. Draw over Rubin was also a good result. So some really good results in there and a pleasing start to the 6th season at the club. And we then went into our first game at home to Burnley on high spirits after the good pre-season friendlies, and we won 4-1. We absolutely annihilated them, battered them off the park. Marcus Pedersen got on the score sheet after 22 minutes and then on 40 minutes to give us the 2-0 lead at the break. Burnley then got a penalty on 58 which Dean Marney missed, but they got another one 12 minutes later, which this time he scored only just though. But Demirel made it 3-1 4 minutes later to put Burnley away again, and Pedersen scored a penalty 3 minutes from time to get his hat-trick and make it 4-1, so really good result for us. In the Capital One Cup first round, I switched the squad around completely apart from one player. Only Ignacy Miquel started the previous game, and this one was a 1-0 win. Kevin Rogers with the only goal in extra time after 99 minutes. We played better than them, we outplayed them completely, but it did take us extra time. But with the reserve side I wasn't too displeased with this. We then drew 1-1 away at Peterborough, which wasn't a bad result. These were a good team last year. They took the lead after 56 through Emile Sinclair, but we equalised through Marcus Pedersen with 10 minutes to go, and probably a good result in the end. Chances were even, possession we slightly edged it, but not a bad result at all. Next result was Watford at home and we won 2-1. Watford sold Grant Draper, who I've been after for years but I haven't been able to afford him. They sold him for 10 million, so they've re-strengthened the side with that money, but unfortunately they couldn't, well unfortunately for them, they couldn't beat us. We outplayed them again on the day. Kevin Rogers after 16, starting in place of Anichebe after his goal in the Capital One Cup, put us in front. Connor Doyle equalised for them, but in the first minute of injury time Marcus Pedersen made it 2-1 to give us all 3 points. We then played Swindon at home, and this was a disappointing result really. We had more chances than them, the possession was pretty even, but we couldn't come away with the result that we wanted. Kevin Rogers after 54 put us in front after a 0-0 first half, but they equalised through George Green after 67 and then went in front a minute later through Matt Ritchie, but Kevin Rogers then on 71 made it 2-2. but Conor McAleny, with quarter of an hour to go, gave Swindon a 3-2 lead, and 4 minutes later David Davis made it 3-all, which was putting us back level. We had chances at the end to win it, but we couldn't take them, and I was disappointed with that. But it does mean that we're unbeaten so far in the season, in the Championship, in the first 4 games, because we then followed that up with an away game against Middlesbrough in the Capital One Cup, and again I played a complete reserve side, and unfortunately we came out on the wrong end of a 1-0 defeat. It was we lost Enua and Sabai to injury. We didn't have a shot on target in the entire match, which was really disappointing, but they scored in the 89th minute, just before extra time, to break our hearts, send us out. But to be honest, we're doing well in the league, so I would like to concentrate on that. I don't want too many cup competitions to get in the way. So after 4 games, we lie 4th in the Championship, 2 wins, 2 draws, one of 6 unbeaten sides still in the league. We've scored 10 goals, the second best attacking record in the league, which is good as well, and we're doing well. I'm really pleased with the start to the season that we've had. And if you look, Peterborough we've played already, we drew with them, so they're a good team. Unfortunately Swindon we drew with down in 14th, and Watford and Burnley are right down the bottom. We beat both of them, so that's good news. And hopefully we can just kick on and improve this season, and stay up near the top of the table would be a really good position to be in. So our next game is against Hull, but I won't be live coming that because this episode's gone on for too long already. So guys, that'll be the end of it. The fixtures for the next episode will be September and October put together, I think, and I'll livecom the Nottingham Forest game in the next episode. So I'll play these ones, come back and livecom this Nottingham Forest game. So guys, hope you've enjoyed the episode. Please do give it a like if you have, subscribe if you haven't already, and as ever, if you want to ask me any questions about the series, about FM in general, or anything else, please do just put a comment in the comment section. I will reply to it. So guys, for now, I'll see you later. Thank you, bye.